radar. So what we have done in the previous class is that radar is basically radio detection and ranging. Radio indicates that we are using high frequency electromagnetic waves. With that information, first we will be sending the signal, and whatever we are receiving as a reflected waves, based on that we will be detecting and ranging. Means we will be getting information about the object and how far that object is, and many more information will come to know. It, we know it works on the principle of sending and then receiving. So based on whatever echo we have received or whatever reflected waves we have received, based on that we are depicting entire information about it, which is just like the mammal bat, how it sends its high frequency waves, and based on the frequencies he has received, he gets an idea that object is moving away from him, how small, size, so many other factors that you get an idea about the object. So based on that, the applications are being designed. Applications, as we know, are multiple applications are there. Like we have taken aircraft, then we have taken ship regarding ship traffic, then find out the mines, then for military applications to detect, uh, to have a location of where the enemy tank is there, and many more things. Also for the weather report, we use this radar. Now, the basic principle here, what we have seen is for the radar is we need a transmitter who will send the signals. We need a receiver who receives the signal. We need a transmitting media and where the signals will be traveling. Now, for transmitter, remember it should have an antenna to send, and for receiver, it should have an antenna to receive, right? So based on application, we can use this antenna for both purpose, transmitting and receiving, and sometimes individually. Now, now when we know we go ahead with radar, one thing is very clear, that based on what we have received back after sending, the information is been depicted out of it. So the waves that we are using is very high frequency waves like radio waves, microwaves. And as just now, as we see that it totally works on after sending what we have received back. Okay. Now, as we say, we just saw that the we can forget the and lot of information with what we have received, like distance, how far the target is, how high the target is, about the speed, is it coming towards us or it's going away from us, and approximately what material it is made, is it a tree or it is absorbing all the signals, or it's a metal which is reflecting all the signals. Based on what is the strength of a signal, we can even identify the what kind of material is being used, not very precisely but a rough idea we can have from it. Now, when we start about one feature that we can go ahead, the first one comes is the range. As we said, first we are transmitting the pulse, then we are receiving the pulse. On the basis of that received pulse, we are getting the entire information. So when you talk about the range will be everything from transmitted pulse to received back pulse. Together we call it as a range. And since we are going twice, one for sending and one for receiving, we take it as divided by 2 to get the entire information. Now we also saw that some atmospheric effects are there that reduces the strength of your signal, like attenuation, where attenuation means gradually the strength will reduce. Then reflected, what happens when we are receiving the signals, some fall on earth, some fall around the antenna, and then they get reflected and get back to antenna. That also brings a phase shift into onto the waves, and the result is changing. Then of course the shape of the earth matters. It's not a flat surface, it's a curvature. So waves always travel straight. So when they are traveling straight at a circular object, naturally the loss of signal may happen. And yes, atmosphere has lot of layers. Because of that layers, every layer will go ahead with some or the other diffraction that disperse our signal or weakens our signal. Now, when you talk about radar block diagram, what we have done is the basic about the features and what are the requirements of radar. Now, when we start with exactly what is how the radar works, so as we said, we need a transmitter, we need a receiver. Now we said we need antenna. Now, if you want to use the same antenna for both for transmitter and for receiver, then we use an equipment called duplexer. Duplexer act as a switch. So when you are sending the signal towards the antenna, duplexer turns on the transmitter switch and turns off the receiver switch. So that signal sent by transmitter can be sent towards the aircraft or towards the target. Now here, remember the transmitter is sending the signal, duplexer is switching on the transmitter and switching off the receiver, and then the signal reaches antenna and it is been sent. Preferably it goes in one direction, because if we go with isotropic, that means if the antenna sends signal in all directions, then if you compare it with the directional, you will find the data that we receive back is better when we send a unidirectional data signals. So preferably we go with where if we know the which target we are going to find out. So as again, depending upon the application of the this radar, we will be deciding what kind of waves we are using. So if we are going only with the a target which we are aware of it, like if you go to ATC building, we are aware of what kind of target we are focusing on to. So in that case, you can go ahead with unidirectional antenna and unidirectional signals. Now, after the signal is been sent, the day signals are reflected and received back by antenna. Now, when the signal is receiving back, what happens? After reflection, the receive the after reflection, the signal will go in all directions, right? Some will fall directly onto the antenna, some one will dispersed here and there. So whatever falls onto the antenna, that signal we are that is received by the antenna. And with that received antenna, when goes back after receiving, goes back towards the receiver. Remember, duplexer was off that time. Now duplexer turns on for receiver and turns off for transmitter, and the signal received by antenna goes to receiver for further processing. So this is how what happens. Duplexer acts as a switch for when you are sending the signal. The duplexer is on for transmitter and off for receiver, and thus the signal reaches to antenna. When we are receiving signal, duplexer offs the switch of transmitter and turns on for receiver, so that received signal goes back directly to the receiver. Now, here we have just now seen that the target after sending is following multiple paths. You can see here the received signal or after reflection, the waves are not directly coming to antenna, but they are dispersed and some part of it falls onto the antenna. So what happens in this? If you see here, some are coming directly to the antenna, whereas some are falling onto the ground and reflected back towards the antenna. Some are around the material, whatever is things are being placed. Now it can be natural, it can be artificial. Few falls on it and then reflects back towards the antenna. So whatever we have, the antenna is receiving. Based on that only, it calculates the entire data. Now here it's very important that we should have a good filters at the receiver end, so that we can see the phase difference between when we have received the signal directly and after other reflections, if the because of stone, because of mountains, because of rivers, after that water has reflected back towards the antenna, what is the difference between the previous and second signal? That is what has to be eliminated to get a correct result for the receiver end. Now we have seen what does transmitter does. Transmitter basically is sending signal towards the antenna. So before that, what transmitter should do? Transmitter should have the very high frequencies or a device that generates very high frequency, and it should send signal in a form of a continuous pulse. Now mixers that have been placed there, they take care of the spectrum range, And this spectrum, this mixer also are used to transform intermediate frequency signal as produced by the generators, and we call them as up conversion. Now receiver what it does, it receives the received signals, or it receives the echoes that are being it received, and then further its strength removes the noise from it, increases the strength of a signal, and further it is being processed. Now antenna we know can be used for both transmitter and receiver by the help of duplexer, and the antennas we are using here is directional antenna to send signal, and isotropic antenna, that means it should be able to receive or collect data from all sides for receiving antenna. So that also adjustment can be done in the antenna. Now as we say, duplexer is like a switch which allows your antenna to switch from transmitter to receiver. Now, when we are using for the pulse radar, we use the term duplexer. If you are using in a continuous wave radar, CW radar, we call it as circulator. Now, what is a modulator? Now we know when we talk about transmitter, there are few terms that have been used. Like modulator is a part of transmitter end, where the signal is produced in a particular fashion, or it is produced in particular time period, and indicator basically produces a visual trace of the area that is being searched by the radar. And power supplies, we know we need both AC and DC for our components to work. Then here the advantages that we are having is the superior penetration is happening, especially when you are finding out the data related to weather. So like if the radar is a weather report radar, so it will receive the signals and immediately it will remove the noise and it will process. Then we know that radar is basically electromagnetic wave, so it can penetrate in space and air. And radar can be a long range, and wave propagation at the speed of light is possible, so that increases the response time of radar, and it is less susceptible to weather conditions. That means even if the temperature is not good, extreme hot, extreme cold, extreme stormy, extreme rainy, it is able to detect the information. So clouds doesn't affect the response of what the radar is being generating. Then there are many more types of radars, as you said, depending upon the application. The pulses that we used are being decided, or it's a continuous wave or a digital wave modulation is there, that is being decided. And so different applications, different type of waves are used, different types of radars are being used. So one more thing, what we can say is one more thing that affects the radar result. That is, like rain fades the microwave waves, then different layers of atmosphere also reduces it. Then ducting by air layers. Now here ducting means when different density of air means gases are present into the space, then a duct kind of thing is been formed. That duct actually uh, leads to lot of variation in the output received. It's a temporary phase and it keeps changing because of low pressure and high pressures created in different terrains on the earth. Now when we talk about radar and we are talking about receiving a signal, we are talking about Doppler effect. What is a Doppler effect? Doppler effect is basically the when any object is coming towards us or going away from us especially in the buses and trains. You would have seen in railway platform, when the train is coming to you, the sound is very high, but when train is going away from you, you will find the sound is not as high as it was when it was received. Why this is so? Because when any object is coming towards you, the frequency it increases, so the sound becomes louder and louder. Whereas when it is going away from the object, then what it will happen? The wavelength will increase and the sound will become feeble. So basically, this Doppler effect is used to see that object is coming towards you or going away from you. So this relative motion between source and receiver can be depicted with the help of Doppler effect. Now, in this entire page, you can see FD is what we are talking about, Doppler shift frequency. So FD is a radar Doppler shift, which is happening with respect to when we compare it with the standard waves or Carrier waves, we get an idea about how much drift it has happened. And based on that drift, the information is been gathered. Like if the object is coming towards you, we say the frequency is increased. It's just like any spring. When the frequency increases, naturally the sound increases or the visibility also increases. So just by getting the information about the received signal, we can come to know that object is coming towards us or going away from us. So here you can see that how when we say that when the object is coming towards you, you can see the loud waves or you can hear the loud waves. Why is it so? Because when it's coming towards you, frequency increases, it becomes compressed, it becomes very high frequency, and that affects that that leads to a very loud sound, and we call it as a higher frequency. And same way, the if the person is away from the person is away from the from the where the sound is coming, then this the wavelength is expanded, so we call it as a uh, lower frequencies, and we call it as expanded ones. It's spread out, it's expanded ones. So that is how the Doppler shift is useful to get the information about the target, that it is coming towards you and it's going away from you, what speed it's coming and going, that information also can be depicted out of this Doppler shift. Now here, there are few terms that you need to remember when we talk about radar systems. First is PRF, that is pulse repetitive frequency. Maximum ambiguous range. How much range it's been useful and now it's not used. Minimum range. We are interested to have maximum output with minimum power required. But if it goes vice versa, the range become minimum and wastage of energy happens. Then we will find out more about how to find out the range. Now here, for you can see the picture that your radar, this is an actual radar. It is moving in some particular directions. Now totally in our hands that and how what direction you want to turn it to. Otherwise, automatically it will keep oscillating itself um, from one point to another. So here we can also go with 270 degree of information. You can see the signal is sent into the space and it is received back. So if the antenna's head is moving in 270 degree, naturally the range that we have covered is also very high. So first term is pulse repetitive frequency. We said that after we have sent a signal, we will wait for signal to be received. And based on that, we will get an idea where the target is. So here you can see the blue line, it is indicating the pulse when the data is been signal is been sent, and after it has reflected from the target, then it is received by the antenna. That information we have shown it with the red color. So that now here see, after the signal is been sent and then it has received back, then only we are sending the next pulse for transmitting and again receiving, and like this the process continues. It is very 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 fast, so we don't even come to know. But if there is any problem in the synchronization between target and receiver, then automatically we will not get the correct information. Now, this is what the pulse repetitive frequency is, that the pulse is being sent at a regular intervals. Now, how it will be responded by the target, it depends upon the material of the target, the angle. There are so many more factors that affect the target. Then comes maximum unambiguous range. Now, when we get true range of a target, we call it as maximum unambiguous range. Now, what is this true range? The true range is basically that we are getting a consistent output, and we are getting consistent here means after receiving the first pulse only, you are sending the second pulse. So naturally, the result that we get will be also be synchronized. But if it gets mismatched, that it has to go 1 and 1, but the proportion changes to, like we have sent signal and we have not received the previous signal. We waited for it, and then again we have sent the first signal, and then immediately the first received signal has at the receiver end has been received, and then naturally the second one is also been received. Now here if you see, mostly what happens, based on the received information of the first pulse, the second pulse has been sent, but since the first pulse response has not come, there happens a mismatch. We call it as a maximum unambiguous range. So what is minimum range? Minimum range is with maximum power when we get the uh, reflected output, and the distance travel there is small, and still we get a good quality output. We call it as a minimum range. Then we come to the range. Just now we have seen that basically what is range? Range is sending signal and received signal. Once we receive the signal, then only we get an idea about what is the status. Now here if you see, range we are considering as same speed is distance upon time, where we know the distance is 2r, r for range, and c is the distance, is the speed of light with which the it is traveling, the waves are traveling. So with that we can find out ct by 2. Next we will start with prediction of range performance. That's a derivation. So next class when you come with paper and pen.